So, Kelly, here you and I are on the set of Hockey Night in Canada. We have worked together since 1995 doing this. It's a quarter century. It goes back even further, 1987, when you had your 4 overtime game, Landover, Maryland, and you won, and it's the greatest performance in playoff history, 73 saves. I was a young pup with Don Cherry leading me along on Coach's Corner, and it was a thrill then. So that's over 30 years that you and I have known each other. And to be here for Edge School, for the faculty and for the kids is an honor.
This is really great. I'm really glad, Ron, that you agreed to participate. I sent you that late text last night, and I thought about this because you've known about Caitlin forever. And but I thought, you were brave enough also to share with me a story that your thing that you went through when you were working in Red Deer. And I remember the night we're at the beer market after an afternoon game on King Street, and Kerry was there, PJ Stock was there, and you shared your story. So I thought, how brave of you that night. And so this is awesome what the Edge School is doing. Their Mental Health Week. And so you and I have a connection with it. I think I kind of went through something funky for a stretch in 1993. But what the Edge School is doing with all their programs, and they're going to have some workshops and so on, it's so great about raising awareness. And you know the importance of that, because so many people now, we share stories. Maybe 15 years ago, I don't know if people would have sat down like this and talked about what some of the things they're going through. So I think that's beautiful. The thing that you'll have to recognize, and I want everybody to be aware of, the Canadian Mental Health Association says 1 in 5 people suffer. I think you and I have agreed that it's higher than that. I don't want to put a specific number on it. But so for all the students out there, I know that you'll be supportive of all your friends, but just think in the classroom, you have, 20 people, 25 people. So a number of those people are going through something. Now, it might not be debilitating, that's good, but maybe in some way it affects your life. It might interrupt certain things that you want to do. And so we want to make sure that people are aware of it. Don't be afraid. When Caitlin started talking about her issues in 2013, I was really worried, Ron. I thought there'd be some backlash on social media, and I warned her about that. And to our surprise, we haven't had any haters, not one. The only thing we've found from it, people come up to us and share their story. So I think the good thing moving forward is that we can get through this. You'll find tons of support. Like, you won't believe the support that you're going to find. So this is a great program. I'm so happy to do this with you, Ron, and awesome.
I love, Kelly, what you said, that 15 years ago, for sure, we wouldn't have brought it up. For me, it happened as a teenager. I was a young disc jockey at CKRD in Red Deer, and I would go on the air and I would get this flight or fight anxiety rush happening, and honest to God, I would stop cold in my tracks. And I don't know how I even got a career of broadcasting, because I went through this fight, never mentioned it to anybody, thought for sure I was the only one that was weak and weird. But I also like what you said is you don't just have this, what's going on at Edge for yourself. You might have it so that you learn how to help someone else. That's really big. So you addressed it a little bit. You mentioned in 93, one time you had a tough mental game going on, and you wrote about it in your book, Calling the Shots. I wrote about my own personal anxiety attacks, which went on for years, but you overcome them. Matt Brown is at Edge.
Hang on one second. Do you still have any suffer at all?
No, knock on wood. I will get a moment, but now I know my triggers. I know certainly sleep deprivation, abusing your body, all these things you can do that sort of escalate the possibility. I feel like in my 50s I don't, but I certainly know in my early 40s, hosting the NHL Awards, walking on stage, and now Ron MacLean, and boom, there it goes again, and I try to get a laugh or something to get me settled. So it is.
Because Caitlin still suffers.
Oh, she will.
Goes highs and lows. She's speaking at the school on Wednesday, so that's going to be great. I think she's going to speak for about 15 minutes and then do a Q&A. So sorry for
and imagine, I know every time she does a speech, I'm sure there's that, how am I going to get started, and how am I going to just...
Surprisingly, she's good at that.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, that's...
I don't know how she does that. Yeah.
I'll get to Carla McLeod in a moment, who's also at Edge. There's Matt. Matt's been a great sports psychologist for Canada, and of course a great educator and valued member of Edge. That's one book he gave me, which was about rivalry and teamwork. This is about grief, and this is another one about failure. And he's always been a godsend to me in terms of how I approach the ethics of sport. It has to be virtue. Sport has to be virtuous for it to be any good. And the other woman I wanted to mention is Carla McLeod, who was just in Red Deer with my wife, Carrie, competing in a dance-off to raise money for the Legacy Centre at the Canada Winter Games. Will be held in Red Deer, and they'll have this legacy project that Carla was brave enough to go into a little version of Dancing with Stars to raise money. And for her, a 2-time Olympic champion, it's probably the scariest thing she's ever done, but she said this really neat thing in the build-up to the event.
As adults, always tell young kids, try things. It's okay if you fail. Yet as adults, we rarely, if ever, do it. So to be honest, that was what pushed me to say yes, because if I can do this, they truly can do anything. And that's what I hope they see by me participating in a dance-off.
Isn't that great? Carla McLeod. So, Caitlin, be great. And
Yes.
thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, thank you.